Welcome to the third year I've done the Allwine Schools State of Education Report, highlighting some updates from the past year and setting the stage for things to come in the future. This past year, we have primarily been working on smaller upgrades to our facilities. We added a new scoreboard this summer to the football stadium with video capability. Had a great deal of success getting sponsors and having students integrate commercial capacity to helping local businesses make commercials, and then also having a student group run the video board during ball games and look to expand on its capabilities in the near future. We also invested in a $400,000 LED lighting upgrade to the district this summer, replacing over 10,000 fluorescent light tubes with LED light bulbs. We've already seen a significant savings of over $2,500 a month, and that also from September to September this year, from September last year, and that also includes Alliant rate increases. So really our savings would be closer to $4,000 minus those rate increases. And then capitalizing on that over the course of a year will be over $30,000 in net savings for the district. Additionally, we've been updating signs and signage around the district to represent our new logo and make sure that we have appropriate signage everywhere in the district. These are ACT scores from this year. We're just below a score of 20 on the composite score, average of just below 20 on the ACT score. We've dropped about a point in the last 3 years. This trend is commensurate with the trend across the state. The ACT scores are going down. Typically we find, and have been finding lately, that students are no longer taking the ACT test again to improve their score. And that's happening more and more frequently, which would be a reason for the scores going down, as typically when students retake a test, the ACT test, their scores will go up 1 to 3 points on average just by retaking it. So ACT as a testing company is changing some of their parameters to allow different testing protocols to allow for some of that. So it'll be interesting in the next few years to see if those changes are reflected in our scores increasing. We've recently got our Iowa Student Performance Test scores back, or ISASP, and reviewed those with the board. Under the old testing protocols, the district lagged behind the state average anywhere from 12 to 15 points kind of across the board, and that same gap is present with the new testing. On average, the state of Iowa scores went down with the new test that was administered for the first time last spring, and with those test scores going down and the district remaining just below the state average in most categories, our scores also went down about the same percentage points. We are working diligently to improve those scores, and basically the rest of the presentation will kind of outline our plan to improve in those areas. Overall, as a district, here's our 59% of our students are proficient in reading, 49% in math, and 37% in science. Just a real brief overview. These are our scores from 2018 on the Iowa assessments, and our composite score as a district from 2017. If you look at those composite scores, the state average was in the 82 to 85 percentile rank, which shows that, again, we are about 10 to 15 points lower than the state average in the old testing as well. This school year, we welcomed about a dozen new staff members to our team, about a 10% turnover in staff coming into the district. We were excited to welcome a handful of veteran staff from neighboring school districts and from around the country, actually. And then also some first-year teachers to our team. They have been a joy to be around, and they have been excited and eager to learn and to teach our students and face their challenges each and every day. We're excited that they're here and all they bring to our staff, our veteran staff, and our staff that's been here for a while. So they've been a nice addition. Last December, the Owine schools, Wings Park, the middle school, and the high school all received a designation from the Department of Education as being targeted under the new Every Student Succeeds Act from the federal government. We were anticipating this based on our test scores and have been able to submit a plan for improvement to the Department of Ed. That plan is crosswalked and articulated against the district's strategic plan and focuses mainly on making sure that we have universal screeners and that we're teaching the core with fidelity. And then we have an intervention system to identify the kids that are not reaching grade level in reading and math, and then providing a system to support their learning, make sure that they are ultimately getting to grade level. Here's a brief look of our fall universal screener that we administered by grade level all the way from kindergarten through 11th grade. The orange line on top is the behavior of our students, which shows them to be fairly consistent. And our behavior issues are minimal and few and far between. And then the green and blue lines, respectively, are reading and math. We believe our high kindergarten and first grade scores are due to some changes that have taken place in our adoption of proficiency scales and identifying the specific skills necessary to be successful in those grade levels. Those students have never had any opportunities for gaps in learning, and so new protocols and new procedures are supplementing the achievement of those students, and hopefully that will continue, and the rest of those students will continue to rise as those policies and procedures are implemented with fidelity across all grade levels. K-12, all of our students are integrated into a multi-tiered system of supports that will track those universal screeners and proficiency checks in class to ensure that every student is receiving what they need and when they need it. Students that do not hit the targets as deemed necessary by teachers will be provided extra supports and reteaching opportunities to make sure they do learn what is necessary for them to be successful at grade level. Those systems are being put in place for math, reading, and behavior as required by the state of Iowa and ESSA. And the last piece of this puzzle to kind of circle everything up is how we communicate all of those skills that we're teaching in those classrooms, teaching the Iowa core, those standards, and then how we're assessing it to ensure that all students are learning at high levels, and then communicating those skills out to parents. And this year's our first implementation of standards reference grading, or referencing those skills that we're required to teach back to the parents and the students in terms of their learning capability. So in this little chart here, you can see a student with a math score that the math standard says I can use place value to round any multi-digit number to any place and can compare the different units with the same system of measurement. So that student got a 3, which is considered proficient. A 4 is advanced proficiency. 2 is developing, and a 1 would be emerging, just starting their learning. So we know once a student hits a 3, they're proficient in that skill and are ready for the next skill. Next year, we'll be transitioning the high school to this same process, with some teachers already using it in the high school, and we'll be converting those semester grades to letter grades in a traditional sense. That is all for the Condition of Education report in Owine. A lot of great things happening here, a lot of unique opportunities for our students. The condition of education is strong. We have a plan moving forward to continue working on those lower assessment scores, and we are confident that we have the right people in the right places to continue working together to find improvement for our students.